by taking our business model canvas and understanding all of the core components of our business before we get into super detail about them. We can take that high level concept idea and we can start to shop it around to different potential customers. Once we have that blueprint drawn up on our business model canvas, while we do that, we can get advice and feedback and start to refine our business model canvas so that we have a really awesome business idea that we know will work. We know through this experience, through this experimentation, through this process of showing the idea, getting feedback about new ideas we could add in or things that we should change, we can keep refining this high-level brainstorm canvas until we've got a really solid blueprint for our business. This could look like simple conversations with potential customers. Maybe you go hang out at a hotel, start up casual conversation on the beach with people, and you say, hey, I'm an entrepreneur from the area. I'm thinking about starting a business that offers this product and service. What do you think? And you'll get a reaction right away. They'll say, hey, yeah, that's a great idea. Or they'll go, yeah, that's a good idea, but maybe, if it offered this or it offered that, it'd be even better. Start to take all that in and come back to your business model canvas and update it, change it, and then go tell that new story or that new version of it to that same customer or that same customer segment and ask them for feedback. And you'll continually refine your business idea. Another thing we can do to help us take this idea from idea to validated idea that we know will work is to look at what are other businesses doing. This could be businesses in your local area. It could be businesses that you're going to compete with that are offering the same product and service in the same area. You could look at their business model canvas, how they're doing it, and start to see if there's some signs and signals or evidence that will help you refine your blueprint. The other thing you can do is you can look at businesses offering the same thing in a different area. Maybe someone has a really cool walking tour company in a surf town in New Zealand. And you're thinking about, hey, I want to start a walking tour company in a surf town in Canada. And there isn't a lot of surf towns in Canada outside of Tofino. So you might look at case studies or examples from somewhere as far away as New Zealand or as close to home as somewhere else on Vancouver Island where they're offering walking tours. In any case, what we want to do is look out to the world and to other businesses and to people that we're either going to try and sell our product and service to or people that have a bit more experience and wisdom than us and get feedback on our business model canvas and our blueprint before we go out and start to write the detailed business plan. Most of us are familiar with the concept of a hypothesis. Let's treat every box on our business model canvas like a hypothesis. I believe that if X, then Y. So if we look at the business model canvas for the walking tour company, we might say that our value proposition is to offer walking tours. And the walking tours are meant to connect people to place. So the hypothesis could be that I believe that families are looking for walking tours that leave them feeling connected to place. That's the most foundational hypothesis on our business model canvas. Before we get into activities and resources and partners and all of that stuff downstream, let's start right from the headwaters, right from the very beginning. This foundational hypothesis that families are coming to Tofino, that they want walking tours, and that what they want out of that walking tour is a connection to place. So the first thing we do to validate that is to look at the data. Go to Tourism Tofino, go to the front desk staff at the hotel, or walk around town and see for yourself how many families are coming to Tofino. If you want to get really detailed on it, go to Tourism Tofino and ask them, do you have any statistics on how many families are coming to Tofino every year? Or go on their website and look at the most recent tourism impact report that they've developed and see what is the total number of people coming to Tofino every year, how much are they spending, and what percentage of that group are families. Right from that very beginning point, you'll start to get a good understanding of how many families are coming to Tofino on an annual basis, the seasonality of when they're coming, the average spend for each family, and how much of that spend might go to activities like walking tours. The second thing that we want to validate on our business model canvas is this idea of walking tours as a way to connect to place. And related to that, that connecting to place is really valuable and important. So what we might do to validate that part of the business model canvas, the value proposition, is we might go to some of those families that are visiting and we might survey them and ask them, how do you want to connect to place? Would connecting to place be special for you? How do you want to experience our traditional territories? How would you like to see and come to know and understand this place? What would be valuable for you on your trip? If we ask these open-ended questions, we'll start to get a lot of honest feedback and ideas from the customer segment we want to serve about what they want to do to connect to place and experience this region. And we want to listen carefully to see and hear, is it walking tours or is it another kind of tour? Are they more interested in going on a boat, hopping in a helicopter, going for a paddle in a canoe, going surfing? How is it that they want to experience this place? And we really want to be carefully listening for walking tours and what it is about those tours that might be special and really valuable for them. This is how we can take some of these key ideas in our business model canvas, turn them into hypotheses, and start to validate them with real data. As we go outwards, we might look at understanding what are some of the key activities that we need to do. So when we go outwards from this, from our customer segment and our value proposition, we're going to start to look at what are some of the key activities that we need to do to create the walking tour experience. From there, we're going to look at the key activities. And we're going to start to map out what are some of the key activities that we really need to do to help people have this walking tour experience. To validate this section of the business model canvas, you might look out at what other businesses are doing to serve their customers in a tour enterprise. Whether that tour enterprise is on foot, on boat, by air, you could look at a lot of the general activities that they need to do. Some of those activities will include customer outreach, marketing, sales, managing customer experience, taking people on tours, coordinating and scheduling tours, mapping out the tours, coming up with amazing stories and facts and knowledge to share on those different tours. And the list goes on. We can have a really fun time here putting out all the different ideas that we have of what the activities might be to run our business. Once we have our list of activities, we can start to list that out into what are all the different resources we're going to need to perform those activities. So let's just take the simple idea of marketing. Some of the resources we might need for marketing include a social media account, subscriptions. It might include support from a marketing expert that can help us craft our message and get it out to the market really well. Other activities for marketing might include looking at the engagement that we're getting from our social media posts. It might be looking at the Google reviews that we're getting and evaluating how can we update our business and what some of the key messaging we can use to reach out to our customers. So all of that takes a lot of resources and time. When you're an entrepreneur, you might think about, wow, that is a lot of resources. I don't have all of the time and money to go through all of these different things and map it out because I'm just one person, or maybe we're two people. That's where the next section on the business model canvas comes in and is really, really vital and important for social purpose entrepreneurs and for any organization that wants to make an impact. And that's the key partners. The key partners section of the business model canvas is how we can look at the ecosystem of other businesses and organizations that might be able to help us be successful in launching our business and making that special, unique impact in the world that we want to make on our community or in the environment. So if we come all the way back to our idea and our case study of launching a walking tour business at Tinwis as part of the Tinwis 10 and 10 program, you might think, I don't have all of the resources in the world to do the marketing. And I don't have all the resources and time in the world to do all of the sales and the bookings either. And you might think, by virtue of being on the property, one of your partners is the hotel. One of the partners is the Best Western Tinwis Resort. And think about, what are my partner's needs? And how might their needs and my needs match up to be a good fit? An example of this is that the Best Western Tinwis Resort is looking for all sorts of ways that they can enhance guest experience. And that includes things like walking tours and getting to know the place, learning about the place, and really being there and knowing and feeling and seeing it from a local's perspective. One of the things that we know guests are looking for when they come to the Best Western Tinwis Resort is an experience of Tinwis, of Tofino, of the Tla'oquia't Ha'huthli from a local's perspective. People come to the region really craving to see and know and understand this place from a local's perspective. And they're asking the hotel all the time, how can we get signed up for different tours and experiences, and where can we go do those? And the hotel's referring them out to all sorts of tour and service providers. Now, if you partnered with the Tinwis Hotel and you said, hey, I want to start a walking tour company and I'd love to start it from your property, they might say to you, you know what? We've got a marketing engine and we've got a booking engine. And if you're here Monday through Friday from 9 to 5, we will give you customers all day long because they are constantly asking us for where they can book a walking tour from the hotel. Anyways, the whole idea is to think about, how can these different partners help me reduce the burden of the activities and the resource costs for my business? And you might find that the value proposition that you have for your customers is also one that they have for their customers, and that together you could partner on making that experience become a reality. It could help you save a lot of time and money. So when we come back to this idea of validating our business idea and our model with the business model canvas and looking at the partners, the thing you might do is go to the Best Western Tinwis and say, hey, here's my business model canvas. This is the business I want to do. Is this something that your guests are looking for? And is there a way that we could partner to get this opportunity to your guests? And you might be surprised about how much they're willing to support you to offer that to the customers, because they also want to offer it to the customers. And they've already got the marketing and the bookings and all of that kind of stuff. So that's an example of really thinking about a key partner. You could start there and you could expand outwards to having a key partnership with many hotels and resorts in the region. Maybe you have a whole team of walking tour guides stationed at multiple different resorts, and you have multiple resorts partnering with you to offer the marketing and the booking services directly into your business. The next pillar in our 4-pillar model is to really zero in on the problem-solution fit. The problem-solution fit is so important because that's where we really get to see the business model canvas and the data that we've collected, or the feedback that we've collected, really get to see it come to life and see if it's going to be that thing that's going to become our business. This is where we get to really fine-tune things.